The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his apostles, "No disciple is above his teacher, nor the slave above his master. It is enough for the disciple that he become like his teacher, for the slave that he become like his master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, how much more those in his household? Therefore, do not be afraid of them. Nothing is concealed that you will not be revealed, nor secret that will not be known. What I say to you in the darkness, speak in the light. What you hear whisper, proclaim in the housetops. And do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, be afraid of the one who can destroy both soul and body in Gehenna. Are not 2 sparrows sold for 2 small coins? Yet no one of them falls to the ground without your Father's knowledge. Even all the hairs of your head are counted. So do not be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. Everyone who acknowledges me before others, I will acknowledge before my heavenly Father. But whoever denies me before others, I will deny before my heavenly Father." The Gospel of the Lord. How do you choose with whom you relate? How do you choose your friends or your circle of acquaintances? It's because you really want to develop a friendship with them. You see qualities that call your attention, qualities that you want, or it's because somehow you have something you can get out of it. And you may say, well, I want to be friends with them and I want to grow, as a human person close to them. Well, think of the many relationships you have had through life, and specifically how the first reading of today is telling us how the brothers of Joseph, after doing wrong to him, and after the father dies, they are like, what about if he's holding a grudge? What is going to happen to us? He has power. Well, they go and try to say, well, Dad say this, that you should forgive our wrongdoing to you. How many times you say to your children, oh, Dad say this, or, I heard this. Well, are we really looking to help each other to grow, or are we finding ways in which anything goes according to what we want? Okay? Because the Gospel of today is telling us also how Jesus says, no slave is greater than the master. No student is greater than the teacher. And I think that as parents, I hope so, you expect or hope that your children will do better than you. I hope so. Why? Because they have more opportunities, and probably they have all the accumulated experience that not only school gives them, but that you share with them. So if you are not expecting your kids to be better than you, you have to ask why. Okay? And I think that we have to really consider, are we building relationships which allow us to grow in our humanity? Relationships in which we can really be ourselves and we can speak about everything that troubles us or everything that makes us happy. Are we able to really sit down and say, I don't have to hide things. I don't have to pick and choose with whom I talk or how I talk. Because, I don't know, we grow pretty often in trying to appear what we are not or to know what we don't know. And believe me, my poor experience as a teacher is like whenever anybody will ask me, what do you think about this? And I will say, I have never considered that. Let me read about it, and I will try to come with an answer. Why? Because it doesn't matter how much you read, it's quite impossible to know all the answers to everything. It's quite impossible to try to retain all the information in your mind, you know? And I think that we have to really consider, are we humble enough to always be open to interact with real relationships in humility? Because when we do that, then we don't have to worry about what other people think of us. We don't have to worry about impressing other people. We have to somehow understand that the more meaningful our relations are, the best we are with life, the happier we are with life. We are more at peace. And that, I guess, is the greater prize of them all. So today, you know, during the day, think about what are you doing to help especially your children or those members of your family to have meaningful relationships, to help them to understand that as we appreciate each other, we grow. And as we want each other to become better, you know, we want the success not only economically or intellectually, but as human persons, that they may become well-rounded people who are at peace, who are full of joy, even in the midst of difficulties. And that we may not enter into relationships for what we can get out of that relationship, or just because we are interested in something. May the Lord grant us a desire to really develop great relationships and safe relationships which will help us to discover God in those in front of us.